Hey there guys, Steve here from Coils and Coins Detecting. Welcome to another hunt, this beautiful old bush location. Jay and I are just walking in to the spot where I found that awesome old snake buckle last time. But to start with, we're just going to wander down the track a bit further and check out a couple of spots that looked very interesting on the aerial photos and on Google Maps, because there are a couple of clearings. There's also a place that looks like it might be an old dump. And we did find evidence of another old building, so we're just going to see if we can spot it. Anyway, we've got the detectors, we're heading in, let's see what we can find. Well, we worked our way into this spot that we found on the current maps, and yeah, it is a dumping ground. I think it might have started out old. Check out this old beauty. Is that an old Holden? No. Interna. I don't know what that is. I don't know that much about old cars, but it's got Interna badge on the side of it there. That's, got to say, that's probably 1940s or 50s surely. It's pretty old. Let's see if we can check it out closer. It's a bit of a bottle dump inside it, the old steering wheel. Yeah, some of this stuff's been here for a while. Interesting. A few old chassis around the place, no badge on the front. Someone who knows a little bit about old vehicles might be able to tell me. There's another one over the back there. There's a tray there. There's a car on its side there. So yeah, this is just a dumping ground for the old vehicles that didn't quite make it. Let's keep searching around here and see what else we can find. Well, we've definitely found the old truck and car graveyard. They're everywhere here. There's another one. That's probably the same vintage as that other one I just found. Another car there. Couple more over there. I reckon these are 1940s, 1950s. Another couple over here. Truck. Bits of truck over there. Wow. There's stuff everywhere in here. I'm not seeing anything really old. The bottles and jars that I'm seeing on the ground here are all sort of 1940s, 50s, 60s, I'm going to guess. Anyway, this may have started out as an old dump, and the challenge is to find out where did it start, so we can get into the older stuff. We might leave this for another day. Let's keep looking around. Well, that was an interesting little walk. Wandered up into the bush and found that dumping ground or graveyard for the old cars, which we could see on the satellite images. So it's not far from this site, so we're guessing it was where all the farm equipment ended up when it was of no use anymore and broke down. Anyway, we're back at this location for detecting. I've got the Manticore here. Today I thought I might do something a little bit different. I brought the Equinox 800 with me with the 6-inch coil on it. What I'm going to do is find 3 decent targets with the Manticore. I'll mark them all, and then I'll come back with the Equinox and give you a listen to them on the Equinox, just so you can compare target IDs and tones and just get a sense of, how different they do sound. So we'll do that, see how it goes. It's going to test my patience, because I always want to dig the target as soon as I find it, but if I'm going to find 3 of them and mark them, it could take me a while to find 3 good ones. So we'll see how I go. I might get impatient and start doing them one by one if the gap between them's too great. Anyway, settings. I'm just going to run the Manticore, same as last time I was here, all-terrain general. I might switch that up today at some point and go to all-terrain fast, because there's a lot of targets close together here, which really you need the smaller coil for. And I have got that Equinox, as I said, so I might try that later in the really noisy sections. Ground balance 0, recovery is relatively high at 7, and my discrimination pattern, if I go across there, I have discriminated out everything below 34, yeah, 34 and down, and I might leave it that way for now, but I am still cherry picking this site, so later on future hunts I might remove that discrimination and we'll hear more of the lower targets. The rest of these settings, we'll do a noise cancel. And I think if you just hold the noise cancel button in, do it a couple of times, will end up stabilising it and jump around. Each time I do it, it's 9, 8, -9, so that's interesting. Anyway, we'll run with that. 3 it is on at the moment, see how quiet it is. Okay, and I might increase the sensitivity. It's on 22. I might boost it to 24 today. If it starts chattering, I'll back it off. Alright, let's get into it, see if we can find our first 3 targets. Alright, we've got our first 3 targets. Didn't actually take too long at all. First target's here. You can see on the Manticore, it's a 90, and it is on the non-ferrous line. Now, I don't think it's particularly big, but it's not a really small object either, so it could be a coin. But you can see there's also something else near it on the 2D map there, down below and near the iron. Okay, I've turned 90 degrees. I'll go this way. Turn 90 degrees. Still nice and repeatable. 90. Pretty solid. Okay, let's get the Equinox now. Equinox 800. Now I'm in field 1. My settings are my normal field 1 settings. I've discriminated out everything below 10, I think it is. And I'll just show you quickly. Threshold 3, target tones 5, recovery of 7, and my sensitivity 23, which is fine for this side. I can maybe ramp it up a bit. It's a very quiet site. Okay, here it is on the Equinox. It's jumping around, 27, 28, but it is a nice signal. Over here, turn 90 degrees, sounds even better there. It's in the low 30s there. So that's definitely a signal I would have had a crack at with both machines, no question. And I will dig this one up now so we can see what we get. I'll just put you guys down. I might just sound it first with the pinpointer. Okay, can't hear it on the pinpointer at this point. It says 2 to 3 bars. Okay, so it's a bit deeper. Okay, we're down to it now, and yeah, it's about 3 inches down, I suppose, 3-4 inches. It's just in there. Is that it there? Yes, so it's just rubbish. Piece of, I don't know what it is actually. It's not lead. Scrap of some sort. Okay, on to the next one. Next target here on the Manticore. It's a high 80s and it's elongated on the 2D map. Come around 90 degrees. Still mid to high 80s. Again, a very nice signal on the Equinox, 27, 28 from all directions. So that is 100% a target you would dig with the Equinox. I'm still going to dig it, even though I found it originally with the Manticore, just because it's on the non-ferrous line. And it reminds me of the signal I got with the snake buckle. It's a similar kind of elongated signal. So let's see if we can find out what we got here. Alright, first interesting target, guys. It is round, but it's not a coin, I don't think. It's got a hole in it. So probably a tag of some sort. It is bent, so maybe that's why it sounded like it did. That could be a dog tag. Well, both machines picked that out as something worthwhile, so that's good. The Equinox was much happier about it than the Manticore, but yeah, they both let me know it was there. I'm going to give that a bit of a scrub with the brush. I can see some numbers on it. See if we can get some detail. I'll back in a sec. So it's a bit corroded, a bit hard to make out, but I can see 1441 on there, and there is something else across the top. I can't quite make that out. I'm going to have to clean that up later on. But I'm going to say that's a dog tag or a stock tag of some sort. Cool find. All right, let's go on to our next target. Okay, so next target. Sounds horrible from that direction. I do want to pick a mixture of good targets and bad ones so you can get a bit of a feel for it. So on the Manticore, that's very patchy. It's a long line, scratchy, and sounds like you probably wouldn't dig it. Anyway, that's what it sounds like on the Manticore. Let's have a listen on the Equinox. This could sound scratchy. Yeah, see, it sounds pretty ordinary on the Equinox as well. You can't even hear it from that angle. Scratchy at best. It's probably iron, probably a nail or something. Best angle's probably here, where it's a mid-20s. Look at that. Great big something. What the heck is that? It's actually quite decorative. Could be off a bed, an old bed or something. I really don't know what that is. Well, we'll clean it up a little bit quickly. Just see if we can work out what it is. No idea though at this stage. It's quite a decent chunky thing. Kind of decorative. I reckon that could be off a... No, I would have said bed except for this bit. Like a threaded light fitting. I wonder if it was something to do with a lantern or a lamp or something. Don't know. Anyway, let's keep looking. Next group of targets with the Manticore. I found them with the Manticore. This one's an 85 to 88 on the non-ferrous line with a bit of an irregular shape to it. And if I turn 90 degrees, it's a similar target ID and shape. Sounds like that, jumping quite a bit between 27 and 37. Turn 90 degrees, still very jumpy. Interesting. See if we can get it out. It's just a blob of something. That's going to be it for sure. Just a bit of rubbish. And it did sound like rubbish, to be fair. Next target sounds like this on the Manticore. Solid 85. Bang on the non-ferrous line. And it actually is higher from this angle. Low 90s. Again, on the non-ferrous though. Now on the Equinox it sounds like this. sweet 27, 28. Very definite about it. So on both machines you would definitely check that out, but obviously much easier to home in on it with a small coil. Alright, we're right onto it. It's just here somewhere. Buckle. They sound good too. Brass buckles always ring up well. I'd say that's horse tack for sure. It's quite a big size. I found a few buckles on this site, so I'm not surprised to find another one. Pin's gone, but lovely old bit of brass. Definitely would have dug that with both machines. Alright, next one. Another target here with the Manticore, about 60, just below the non-ferrous line from all angles. 19, 20, 21. Pretty consistent from all angles as well. So it's been interesting just comparing the signals. Obviously with a smaller coil it's much easier to pinpoint things and to isolate the targets, especially in busy, noisy ground like this. Lots of targets around. The Manticore doesn't do a bad job though of picking them out, got to say. So what I'll probably do is I'll switch to the Manticore for a while and I'll just keep hunting with that. And if I find any really good signals, we'll check them out with the Equinox as well. Okay, this one's quite shallow, just here. That's another piece of lead. Loads of lead here. Almost in the shape of something, that. I wonder if that's deliberate or not. I don't think so. It's like a squirrel. Alright. I'll now just start hunting seriously with the Manticore, and if I get anything interesting, we'll show you on the Equinox as well. Alright. There's so many scratchy signals on this field, it's very, very hard to pinpoint anything out or isolate anything out. But I've got this one. It's a 30. Quite low. I only heard it because I had all metal on. I wouldn't have heard it otherwise, so I'm going to dig it. Looks like it's out. It's over here. Okay. That's the end off a spoon. I actually thought it was a coin for a second because I just saw that round piece sticking out of the ground. But yeah, it's the end off a spoon, a dessert spoon or a fork maybe. Bringing it up quite low. But yeah, it stood out from the rest of the signals, didn't it? So that's good. Alright, so I've been over quite a bit of that area with the Manticore and I haven't really struck any good signals. But back over here it's quite signal dense. There's a whole lot of stuff here, a lot of iron. So I've come back to the Equinox 800 with the 6-inch coil on. And I'm going to see if I can just pick out a few targets in this really dense area, because I think the Manticore was struggling a bit with that large coil. So I'm going to have a bit of a look around this particular area, and did have a target here somewhere that I just picked out. Might have to come back to it. It was a high tone. Could be iron, because there is a lot of iron here. Could be falsing iron. But I'm going to give this a go. I think it might have been that one. 25, 26, very consistent. Right there. Not sure if you can hear that. I'll just turn the headphones off for a tick. See how consistent that is. Now I probably wouldn't have heard it like that with the Manticore, pretty sure. Right here. So let's see what that is. It's going to be small, or it's going to be surrounded by iron, or both. Because that 6-inch coil just picks those things out. isolate the targets particularly well. Okay, that's something that the Manticore, I mean I didn't swing over it with the Manticore so I don't know, but the Equinox picked that out very, very easily. An old brass cap of some sort. Alright, let's persist with this for a bit, see what we can find with the Equinox and the 6-inch coil. Here's another high tone that I've been able to pick out with the 6-inch coil, 25-26. Let's check it out. It's a whole lot easier to isolate these targets with the 6-inch coil. Absolutely perfect for this kind of situation. A Manticore's done right, but you just can't do this with a big coil. Not properly anyway. Okay, just in the back of the hole here. Aha. Something we find a bit of in these sorts of sites. Or some old clock part, cog for a mantle clock or similar. Nice bit of brass. Cool. Well, we were just having a bit of a conversation before about how we thought there must be more good stuff here, and we haven't found much, and the wind's kicking in. Jay's just found something awesome. Where is it, Jay? There, on the... Look what he's found. That's a Rising Sun hat badge, and we were just talking this morning about this being on both of our bucket lists, so Jay can tick it off now, and now I've got to get one. But I found that snake buckle last week, and that was on my list, so fair's fair, hey? That's a ripper. Now that's lifted the spirits, and we'll definitely stay here for a bit longer now. Good stuff, Jay. Well done, mate. I've got a pretty strong signal here, 23. Jay getting that Rising Sun's got us going again. It's just amazing what these places hold. But you've got to have so much patience, and you've got to go slow, and you just got to not give up, basically, because there's always good stuff to be found, and a site's never done to death. You've got to just be consistent. What have we got here? Something round. Another clock part. How about that? There's another bit. Keep going, we'll have the whole clock in a minute. Yeah, loads of this sort of stuff around, but it did sound very, very good on the detector, so stood out really well. Alright, let's keep looking. Well, I didn't record this one because it didn't sound great, but I think that might be part of a firearm. Might be the trigger. Cool relic. There's loads of signals. There's still loads of signals here, and it's just so hard picking them out, deciding what to dig and not to dig. But that is part of a rifle, I reckon. It's the trigger part, trigger piece. Sweet. That's a nice little find. Happy with that one. I was getting towards that part of the day where it's just about time to head off. It's been a bit tough. I haven't found that many targets today, but that's what happens at these sites because everything's spread out and it's in amongst all the iron. So just got to be patient. Some days you find stuff, some days you don't. I found a bit of stuff here and there. No coins at all, which is not unusual. But Jay did find that amazing old Rising Sun, so that's great. And yeah, some other relics. I've got a signal here. It might be one of our last signals. And just in here, that's a high 20s, maybe even a 30. There's loads of old clock parts. I found brass, copper, bottle tops, coins. That's why it sounded so good. Anything that's ring shaped is always going to sound good. An old brass or copper ring of some sort. Fitting, well, it's for looks like it's maybe irrigation or machinery related. Alright, we might have one or two more goes, some targets, and then we'll head off, I reckon. Nice little signal just here. It's a 22, 23. Only 1 or 2 bars down, this one. It's quite shallow. Can't quite hear it yet though. Yeah, so it's a bit of a tricky site. There is certainly good stuff here, but it's not going to give it all up easily. We're going to have to fight for it, and that's fine with me. Okay, let's put you guys down. Let's see if I can find this one. Didn't think it was all that deep, so I might be off a bit. It might be a little bit deeper than I thought. Maybe this way a little bit. There we go. Whoops. Okay. Bit of glass there. Well, it is. It's a ring, brass ring of some sort. And they always ring up well too. Okay guys, so thanks for joining us on the hunt. The weather's starting to change. It's gonna rain soon, I reckon. It's just starting to spit now, and could even snow tonight, so winter is definitely on the way. I found a few interesting bits and pieces. Nothing amazing today, but that's the way it goes on these old sites. Sometimes you just don't find anything significant, but you do find memories of what used to be here, and we found some of those today in those old clock parts. Jay found a half penny, 1943 I think it was, and that amazing hat badge there, Rising Sun, so that's definitely find of the day, no problem at all. So thanks for joining me. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next hunt. Bye for now, guys.